Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We got some balling for your tail today. See, didn't see this coming. Shout out to I forgot the name. Somebody told us about these, and I was like, "Dang, ain't no Mr. Ballen." And I said, we'll figure out which channel we're gonna put it on. We can put it on either or channel. You know what I'm saying? But these are Mr. Ballen lost episodes. Didn't know about these, but we're gonna go and do them in orders, not jumping around, because I know the person did ask for a specific one. But I was like, oh, it's more than one, so we just do them in order. But so this week we got secret creepy cabin discovered in North Carolina. Lost episode 1.
Did you see how many he had so far? No, you don't have to check now. I'm just saying when you was looking.
Playlist. I think so. It'll be 11.
Okay.
So yeah. I guess carry us out. We'll do one a week. Carry us out for the remainder of the year. But yeah, I guess bonus balling.
I was calculating in my head. Okay.
I don't know how much
we can get to it.
And I don't know when it's gonna come out. So
I got you.
Hey, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. You gotta do it. Check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
Hey, let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. This story about Larry Davenport was originally paired with another story about a boy named Michael who went missing 8 days prior in the same location. Michael and his family asked us to remove the video, so that's why you are hearing Larry's story now as a weird standalone story. This story about Larry was... Okay.
On July 17th, 1983, 8 days after Michael is found, another person goes missing in the same section of Roan Mountain. And I've got to say, their story sounds an awful lot like Michael's. So on July 17th, 1983, Larry Davenport, who is a 20-year-old avid hiker, decided...
We ain't taking no notes.
I was just going to listen.
Girl, get with the program. Y'all heard her. She said she ain't gonna listen.
I said I'm just going to.
Y'all heard her. She said she's just going to listen. That's what I said. Don't get smart and loud with me. I ain't getting smart and loud.
She said y'all heard her. She said she's not gonna listen. So I was like, I was correcting. If you need the date, you have to go back to the beginning.
1983. 8 days after Michael is found, another person goes missing in the same section of Roan Mountain. And I've got to say, their story sounds an awful lot like Michael's. So on July 17th, 1983, Larry Davenport, who is a 20-year-old avid hiker, decides to head up to Roan Mountain with a couple of his friends to go on a hike. They really liked the western side of Roan Mountain. They were very eager to get up to the top where they could have a picnic before the sun went down. So they make it up to this section of the mountain where it's actually a campsite, and it's not that far from where Michael went missing. And there's picnic tables and there's little barbecues. You can put in charcoal briquettes and have your own little barbecue. They get up there and they set up their picnic on one of the picnic tables. And they're having a great time. They're joking, they're laughing. And at some point, Larry takes off his shirt and his shoes. And the weather was pretty good. Wasn't super hot out, but it was decent enough that no one thought it was odd that he was taking off his clothes and maybe kicking back and relaxing, enjoying the nice weather. Then at some point, out of nowhere, he stands up and he starts walking over to the tree line because they were in a bit of a clearing. And as he's walking over, one of his friends would later say that it seemed odd if he was going to, relieve himself in the tree line, that he wouldn't take his shoes, because the risk of stepping on something and puncturing your foot's pretty high. It was only in retrospect that this friend thought of that. At the time, his friends didn't think twice. He's getting up to relieve himself. He'll be back in a minute. After a few moments, when Larry did not come back, somebody turned around to see what he was doing, and they saw him walking in a straight line away from them, well into the forest. This is a thick forest. It's not somewhere you're going to go walking barefoot without a shirt on. And he is way into the woods at this point. The friends have this moment of shock. Even if he needed to relieve himself, he would have done it much closer to the edge. So they're staring at him, thinking like, this isn't really happening. He's gonna turn around and come back. When he didn't, somebody yelled like, hey, Larry, what are you doing? Doesn't turn around, just keeps walking. So they get up and they start walking over. They're yelling to him, expecting him to turn around. And then at some point, he's far enough away that they can't even see him anymore. So they start running into the forest, yelling for him to stop and to come back. But as they got farther and farther in and they couldn't find him, they began to get worried that they were going to get lost. And so they decide, after about an hour of just yelling for him and kind of peering around to hopefully get a look at him, thinking he might just come back because there was no explanation for this, they eventually called the authorities. Authorities are able to very quickly launch a massive search in this area, very similar to the search that was launched for Michael, except without military involvement. But it was just as many people, hundreds of people, scouring this area. He doesn't have shoes on, he doesn't have a shirt on. And so they're banking on the idea that even though he's walked off for some reason, he can't go very far. It's gonna take a minute, but they're gonna find him because he can't escape the search party. But he does. And after 3 days of not finding this guy, despite this massive effort, people are baffled. But on the third day, a very strange but lucky break in the case occurred. 8 miles away from where the search is happening for Larry, a group of hikers called into police that they had seen a man walking around them wearing only what they described as a bed sheet. He was probably not wearing a shirt. They didn't know if he had pants on or not, but they could see that, his shin down had nothing on it and he had no shoes on and he had this bed sheet wrapped around him. And he wasn't coming towards them. He wasn't threatening them in any way. He just looked like there's something wrong with this guy. Somebody needs to collect this guy and see what's going on. And so the police go over, and sure enough, it's Larry. When police got to Larry, he was visibly shaken, confused. He didn't really even know why he was there. He didn't know why he had this bed sheet wrapped around him, which it would turn out to be a large curtain, not a bed sheet. He did have a few scratches on his body, but probably not as many as they anticipated him having, considering the distance he had covered. 8 miles through thick rhododendron thickets. He should have been covered head to toe in cuts, but he wasn't, but he had a few. So the first thing they did is they brought him to a hospital, and he was diagnosed with something called acute brain syndrome, which is a term that refers to a host of psychiatric conditions that are temporary and diffuse over time that are caused by head injury, drugs, or infection. Basically, he was totally mentally unstable, but it would get better over time. Once he stabilized a bit, investigators asked him, what happened? So Larry wasn't sure why he left his friends, but at some point after leaving his friends, he wound up at this abandoned cabin. And he describes the cabin and he says where it is. And he said he went in the cabin and he didn't have clothes on, so he pulled one of the curtains off one of the windows and he wrapped it around himself, and he was there for a bit before ultimately leaving the cabin, and then he was discovered. And so investigators, they had a bunch of issues with this because, number one, how do we account for you traveling 8 miles? Because what you've just described is not an 8-mile journey. You're talking about a very short journey. In addition, where you described this cabin is an area that was heavily searched by the hundreds of people that did the search. And no one saw a cabin. And certainly if they had, they would have searched the cabin. It is the most obvious place that someone lost in the woods would go. There's no cabins in that area. So where was he? And where did he get the curtain from? And so just like the Michael Real case, where the boy is found and he's healthy, and so everyone looks past the weirdness of his discovery and his story because he's alive, that's what happened to Larry Davenport. Very strange story. Don't know what you're doing walking around with a curtain on you, and I don't think that cabin exists, but you're alive, so we're okay with it. No one really did much research into the weirdness around these two stories. But David Politis in the Missing 411 team said it's pretty difficult to overlook the fact that in a very short period of time, two different people that didn't know each other, that were not interacting in any way, went missing in roughly the same area, Roan Mountain, North Carolina side, under the same circumstances. They suddenly got up and walked away inexplicably. There's no trace of them. Dogs can't pick up their scent. Then they show up and they're kind of confused about how they got there, but here they are. And then they describe the same cabin that they found themselves being drawn to and staying inside of for significant amounts of time before being found again. That seems like too much of a coincidence to just write off. So I would like to hear what you think happened to these two people. Was the cabin a hallucination? And if so, how did they both evade such a massive search effort? Or was it real? And who was the person in the cabin with Michael? So that's going to do it.
Wait a minute. Oh, see.
Michael part was cut out, though.
Yeah, so we won't be able to
link those two. Wow.
Because me personally, I was thinking, I know people don't believe in like, or I mean, some people don't believe in like, certain like, I guess like paranormal stuff. Because I was like, I wonder like, did they like hear something or was something like called? You know how some people are like, only like certain people. It sounds so crazy saying, but like when you be like in the woods and stuff and people be like, they seen something or heard something no one else is hearing or seeing but them or whatever the case may be, because he was drawn to something for him to go out in the woods, not even respond to his friends. And both of y'all see, like I understand people having hallucinations, but both of y'all having hallucinations about this cabin.
That's too big of a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, my thing is, because they are in the woods and wilderness, right? Is there like any kind of like random wild flower that's growing that could possibly giving off this aroma that they can possibly inhale?
But if that was the case,
or also did they eat anything like wild berries or anything that they like?
Well, I feel like that would have been brought up.
But they probably
friends. Hey.
Okay, just because I grab a couple berries, I might not tell you I grabbed a couple berries. I might just do it and take them myself.
I don't know. Stuff like that could be.
Because like as kids, I used to go grab random things that I know we can eat that grew wild. You know what I'm saying? Just like I ain't telling nobody, but Because
I do wonder
what's them like honeysuckles. I'm not saying he ate. I'm just saying.
You're just saying this.
Like we used to, like did y'all used to go grab the honeysuckles but you never told anybody. You just grab them and be like,
Oh, we used to do it together. It wasn't.
No, I used to see them all the time, and I used to just grab them myself. Sometimes I'd be by myself, and
Yeah, no. But I do wonder, if that is the case, or was he already feeling some type of way before he took off his shoes and his shirt? For him to even do that.
Because also, it's very, like, we kind of very confused because we don't understand the first part of the story with the other boy. I think we had the context clues from the other boy. It could possibly pinpoint,
Yeah.
Without that piece of information.
That had, like, way more information.
Yeah.
So it's very vague.
Yeah. To a degree.
To a degree. Especially since nothing else was on. It was okay. You just had, some sort of episode. You're good. You're alive. We just gonna, move on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So I wonder, was there a cabin or was there like something that's kind of like a shelter? Like they might say it's a cabin, but it can be like a hidden shelter. Cause you remember that one joint we did where that dude kind of built his
underground.
It was a body cam, but he was in a mountain and he built but it was like a shelter him. But if everyday people walk past, they wouldn't have recognized it because he had it hidden. But that was supposed to be his escape. But then they ended up finding out because he had to smoke.
But do you think it's ironic that both of them will find this supposedly hidden?
True. I'm just saying. I agree with you. It will be ironic, but it's a possibility.
I would like to know with the first guy how he was found, what state of mind he was in.
I guess because it's a kid, so they probably was like, "Hey, can you know what I'm saying?"
And then I wonder like what state of mind he was in and how he was found.
Or did they test for anything?
The distance from where he went missing, and then Like, I would like to know those details as well. Just to kind of, like, piece everything together and kind of see, like, the correlation with everything. But
Good story. Man, I wish I had the other part, though.
But that's still strange. Regardless of the fact of not having the first story, it's still strange, though.
I'm just saying, I feel like it would lead us to a better path of, like, discussion and trying to figure it and understand, you know?
I feel you.
It's one of those situations. Damn. It's like, damn, give me the other puzzle, man. I need the other puzzle piece.
Yeah, facts.
But y'all spam us up. Let us know if y'all know any other detail about this for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please